And welcome to today's video where I talk about how to become an ecom master in 2019 and beyond. So what I talk about here is the plans that my partner and me, that we make to dominate e-commerce but in 2019, like the plans that we're already building, that we already started this year, but especially also what we want to do beyond that. So these are all points, some of them that we are already implementing a lot, but some of them are also kind of new. And especially for you as an e-commerce business owner, as a drop shipper, I believe some of these points are extremely important, especially now that everything in e-commerce gets really noisy. There are a lot of people, etc. These are really things that can separate you. These are really tactics and strategies that you should apply to get kind of the unfair advantage people are always talking about. And these are not some secret tiny hacks like install an app and it's done or do that little tweak. These are really strategies that you implement over longer periods of time and that you really apply to all points of your business. And the first one I want to already talk about is something that I think is really important, and this is store quality over fake. Now, I know fake urgency and all these things are easy, they are quick, they are like the quick solution many people think exists. But in fact, if you have all these things like 2 items left and 291 people watching, someone just bought this and this product, the point is they seem like a good fix to increase your conversion rates. But whenever I look across all people, there is almost no business that doesn't use these. Yet almost none of them really make consistent sales. And the point is that they have their, they do something positive if you have a good store already that is making great sales. Even then, you don't need them, but I can see why people use them. But the point is, if you invest your time and your efforts into building a store that is more quality, that looks cleaner, that looks better, it's actually pretty simple. You have a well-designed store. It looks clean, simple, elegant. The usability is high. Then all you need is just something like, free shipping bar if you use it, reviews, testimonials if applicable, probably like a gallery to your Instagram or something, and, great images and copy. You don't need all those different apps where you think, okay, now, my page looks super bad, so I need these urgency timers instead to make up for this. You won't make up for a bad landing page, a bad product page with those stupid things. So I believe that if you make the switch, if you really realize this in 2019, and of course also start now, this is where you can actually, make the switch in your business as well. So this is extremely important, making that switch to store quality over bombarding your pages with fake stuff, etc. The second is actually that you should think about sourcing better products. So I know it sounds like, super general advice, just source better products, it's super easy. But the point is, once you start sourcing locally, once you start sourcing from better AliExpress or general Chinese suppliers, etc., you can actually think about doing long-term business. And this means, for example, positive customer feedback, positive 4 or 5 star reviews, etc. It means that you can potentially create word of mouth, which is extremely powerful. If you think about it, right now you're always you always rely on new people going into your business and buying, but you don't really have those repeat customers. Everyone is just talking about the customer lifetime value all the time, but the reality is that almost no dropshipper has a customer lifetime value that is greater than the initial sale. And if you start sourcing better products, and of course, ideally also a better shipping process with faster shipping, but especially better products, maybe also at some point think about custom packaging, etc. It's definitely not unrealistic. There are some great tools that can also help you. At this point, you can actually start making progress, and you can start, delighting customers that tell their friends, etc. And you can become that great company in your specific field. Again, of course, here it's way easier to do it with a niche store where you then also belong to that niche and to that category with your business. The third one also sounds a little bit strange to some of you maybe, but it's build a community. Now, I see that many stores are just like super anonymous kind of businesses. They're just like very simple pages. They have put their products on there and that's it. What I see, what I did myself already, and what we are doing again on a broader scale, and what I see often is really successful is when you really engage people into a community, which means with an active Instagram account where you post daily, with a newsletter where you really entice people to join. So instead of saying join the newsletter, you say something like join our membership club, where you like sometimes maybe give away products, where you give out discounts, where you tell people about new cool stuff, where you send out content. Maybe even consider a Facebook group around that whole thing. I know a friend of mine, actually didn't do that myself, but a friend of mine built a full Facebook group community instead of just a simple page, where people get sent to or asked to join after they buy. And he really builds that group of people in that Facebook group where they can invite new people, where they talk about the product. Of course, this doesn't work with everything. This doesn't work with super boring products in the way. But depending on what you sell and whether you are like a niche store again, you can definitely build communities that get stronger and stronger and stronger. You can, like I said, work with those email newsletters, email clubs if you want. But the point is, if you build a community and if you build the effort into it, you can get customers on board for the long term. And sure, now you might say, well, communities work and now I have to do these things and I don't know exactly how to do that. Yeah, well, this is the point. There is no fix, like some simple, quick app that can fix that. But different than an app, this actually has an impact and can really give you long-term business and customers that buy over and over again. So this is important, even though it may seem, or maybe especially because it may seem a little tricky and difficult. Now, the fourth thing is, you know it already, high ticket over low ticket. I've talked about it several times. If you want to check out my full-scale training on high ticket dropshipping, how to source great products, sell them with all kinds of different marketing tactics in your store, check out the description. But in general, you know already that I believe high ticket is the way of like the future, at least for most dropshippers. Because what happens on those low ticket items is you have terrible margins. You cannot afford acquiring a customer. You cannot invest into anything significant, and you're always hunting down that next sale. And even if you make 100 or 200 sales, it doesn't bring you much money. So this is my flagship image here, this cable and the couch that I always use to tell people about high ticket. All my biggest successes so far came from high ticket, and as I'm always talking about, many of my students and clients face the same thing as well. And if you make the transition to high ticket, you will see that the competition is actually way, way lower, because many people don't want to go into that space. Many people are kind of afraid to go into that space because they think they can't do it. The point is, if you leave all those low ticket niches, low ticket products behind in 2019 or now, especially, and actually make the transition into a field where there are less competitors, where you can finally afford to spend more, where you can finally invest into your store and build something long-term and a great brand. These are literally, this is literally the point where you can then make dramatic changes and also make dramatic progress. So this is extremely important. It's one of the most, actually all 5 of them are important, but it's definitely one of the most important of those. Again, high ticket, especially if you didn't try it yet, try it out now and see what you can do in this environment. And now the fifth, and by the way, guys, I will do more videos about that. So make sure that you subscribe, because I will do another video where I share even more strategies like these. And the fifth one is test traffic sources. Also something that I've repeated multiple times on this channel, but great complementation for this video here. This is what, advertising looks like for most dropshipping stores right now. But instead of saying, it doesn't work with Facebook, it didn't work for me, test as long as you find something that works great for you. And as soon as you found this traffic source, then you can scale on it. And at some point you can reinvest into other traffic sources again. It's a huge mistake to say that you need to master Facebook and always do everything on Facebook, because, you cannot afford trying multiple things. The point is, yes, you cannot try like 10 things at once, but if you see that Facebook just doesn't work that well, quickly adapt and do something else. Like you don't want to spend all your budget on Facebook. You don't want to spend all your budget on, for example, influencers either. But if you see that you have a very visual product, think about like using YouTube. Think about using Pinterest, for example. Very, very uncompetitive. Think about using Bing ads, something that almost no one is talking about at all. And the point is, of course, Google Ads, my favorite traffic source at the moment. I have full training about that as well. A ton of videos on this channel. But the point is, do something that works and then combine it with other stuff as soon as you as soon as you get into scaling and you can reinvest the profits, etc. Don't do one thing all the time if it doesn't work. Like I cannot understand when people are doing Facebook ads for 6 months and they say that since 6 months they didn't make any profitable sales. And then I always wonder, well, why don't you switch the traffic source? Why don't you change a lot of things in your business? And well, traffic sources are pretty quick and easy to change. It's harder to rearrange and rebuild your whole store, your whole brand, all your products, etc. So it is a very good idea to test traffic sources and find out which of them work best for you before you can then combine them with others. And if you wasted a lot of money in one traffic source, you may still run it on a very low budget, but also try new things and see whether this gets you to the point of selling quicker. So I hope that those 5 strategies, those 5 tips helped you. Some of them are probably is probably stuff that you already knew, but I believe that they are extremely important. As I said, I will do another video about something like that with probably like 5 more of them. So make sure that you subscribe. Also, please like if you enjoyed this video. I know that for those of you that are impatient, this was probably not the best video because you wanted to get this quick thing, how can I become great at e-commerce? Is there a secret? Is there an app that I can use? The point is, I believe those are things that very few people do, which means if you do them, chances are that you can outperform them and actually make more and more profitable sales. So as I said, thanks for watching this video. Please leave a like if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe if you want to see the next one as well. Also, don't forget to check out the High Ticket Masterclass, my training solely for building high ticket stores and long-term brands with high ticket dropshipping. The link is in the description. Make sure that you check that out as well. So again, guys, another time, thanks for watching, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. I wish you all the best with your business. Bye-bye.